Hello. So I was rifling through a bunch of articles, and I guess shame on me, is I had no idea how ridiculous the articles that the news outlet Haaretz puts out. I'm somewhat impressed how Haaretz is able to find this many idiots who are allowed to actually get their writings published. And frankly, I'm flat out embarrassed by their articles. I'm embarrassed for many, many reasons, but the main one is having an Israeli paper spew such nonsense, which allows every nut job to easily point to an Israeli paper to justify their own ignorances. I've now read about 20 articles in the last week or so from Haaretz, and again, my only emotion is embarrassment. That paper is flat out world-class fucking embarrassing. Now, obviously, I'm late to the game from this very distinct and obvious literary joke that they somehow get away with calling a newspaper. And I'm highly confident there are a lot of people who've stated how much of a rag news outlet that this Haaretz has been for years. I'm just shocked, really, how bad, how completely unrealistic and extremely, extremely ignorant and damaging this shit that they publish and publish and publish and publish. It's terrible. Anyway, I want to read this one article and go over it quickly. But it's saying I need to sign up for it first. And since that's not going to happen, I'm just going to read the title and the first paragraph and then comment. So the title is Opinion. It's an opinion piece. The title, American Jews being pro-Israel doesn't mean blind allegiance to Netanyahu or the Gaza war. Okay, here's the first paragraph. Caught between good intentions and fear of backlash, the U.S. Jewish community is still hesitating to condemn an extremist government which has betrayed the hostages held by Hamas, vilified their families, alienated Israel's allies, calls to resettle Gaza, and has no intention or vision about how to end the war. Period. Okay, I've read the comments, and before reading, I thought anyone commenting was going to lay the hammer on this article. Meaning I read the comments after the article, people comment on it, and there are a lot. I was blown away by the comments. I read like the first five or six responses, and I don't really know what to say. I mean, where are these people from? Where and how did they grow up to justify their comments? My gosh, I hope, and I truly hope, that the people who made the comments never get involved with Israeli politics. It's absolutely shameful. I will, unfortunately, keep addressing a topic that I hope I'm wrong about. But for the last couple of months, my thoughts have been is that the biggest delay from Hamas in, sitting down with Israel for any reason is I think they're trying to figure out a way to let the world know about the real status of the remaining hostages. This is just an opinion. I base it on nothing that I have read or heard. I base it on the logistics of the IDF, both above and below ground, and to only have captured 410, with the amount of area that the IDF has already covered in the last 7+ months, makes me very nervous about the outcome. I just don't see how they would have not found more, a lot more by this time. They've traversed basically all of Gaza. So here are the realistic options with that. And I mention this is because you have a stupid fucking article that these guys write. When Israel is at war, okay? They have, and, oh gosh. Okay, so let's look at some of the options. And I think there's a 0.001% chance that these hostages are in Egypt. I think there's about a 1% chance they're in Jordan. So what's that really leave? Iran or Gaza? Iran is highly doubtful, but if they were able to get them out very early, like the evening of October 7th, morning October 8th, they could have somehow got them to Iran. I highly doubt it, but I'm throwing out options. So that pretty much leaves Gaza. All right. So I'm not confident that these Hamas savages have the brains and patience to babysit those beautiful hostages. I think one of the main reasons Hamas is installing is to figure a way out of this. Furthermore, the spineless monsters are 100%, not 99%, 100% responsible for the deaths of every Palestinian living in Gaza. They took 251 hostages, 116 have returned alive, with a total of 116 still in captivity. Now, as of June 2024, the IDF thinks Hamas holds 77 hostages that are alive in 43 bodies. So, Haaretz, is there a number that you and your incompetent staff would agree that the Israel needs to eliminate Hamas? Meaning, how many hostages is like? Are you going to say it's justified if they're dead? That what's going on in Israel is justified by the IDF and Netanyahu? What's that number? Like how many? If you found out tomorrow it was X number of deaths, would you be like, okay, well, now I think we should probably stay in Gaza or I mean, what's that number? Are you and anyone on your staff will you allow your children to play and grow up on the Gazan border, maybe the Lebanese border or the West Bank? Like right up against the border. Move your family there, right? What this ridiculous newspaper needs to understand is that the land that Gaza sits on is Israel's land. It's not Hamas's, it's not the Palestinians, it's not Hezbollah's, it's not any of your writers, it's Israel's land, period. A land they won in a war they didn't start. And it was taken by force that has been the rule of war for thousands upon thousands of years. Oh, and by the way, do you think Israel wants that shithole? Trust me, Egypt won that battle. So Haaretz, what would you and your staff have done on October 8th? Maybe talk it out, give Gaza back to the Palestinians while Hamas still controls the government? Tell me. You people live in La La Land. There are brave Israeli soldiers trying to protect you from another October 7th, you fucking clowns. I will say it again and again. Israel cannot, I repeat, cannot leave Gaza without the utter destruction, dismantling, and ending of Hamas. It must be seen through. They know of nothing else, Hamas. Besides stealing from their own people, what else does Hamas do during the day? They get up thinking, how do I kill a Jew today? I'm not talking the regular Palestinians. I'm talking any member of Hamas. And you just wrote this article about our blind allegiance to Netanyahu or the Gaza war. What do you say different than that? Leave today? There are a couple more things that Hamas does. And I can tell you one thing they do well. I mean, like, they could possibly change the world. Shoveling. I mean, these are gold medal, hands down winners of shoveling. But truly, and I'm not kidding, most of these guys, they have very low education, not much money. So they wake up wondering, what do I do today? How can I kill a Jew today? If given the opportunity, they would gladly walk into Haaretz's office and kill, murder, and behead every one of you. Everyone in that office, and they would leave with a smile. Now, do I believe in a two-state plan for now? No, of course not. Do I believe in a two-state plan once an elected democratic government has been installed in Gaza that recognizes the country of Israel and has proven to be good neighbors for a set period of time, and then meet certain rules that prove they can live side by side with Israel? At that point, yes. Never again. I hear it all the time these days. I'm sure it's mentioned in many articles that Haaretz has published. Well, guess what, Haaretz? Never again. Right now is our turn. This is our time to back it up when it seems like the whole world is against us. So what does Haaretz do? What do their writers do? I'm a Jew. Israel is our land. And if you don't want it defended by any means necessary, then recuse your shitty newspaper, writers, and editorial opinions, and let those who want to help Israel while you pussies continue to hide by your words. You're disgusting. Israel is in a large-scale war on multiple fronts, and all anyone from your rag can do is bitch about Netanyahu. Jews are taking a lot of shit right now in America and other countries. You don't hear us bitching. When this disgusting, terrible, horrendous conflict is over, you can all start finger pointing and going after every politician on the planet for all I care. But for me, I won't be happy until the smiling faces of young adults and more are dancing on an open field, carefree and content in anywhere in Israel. Like, through the whole country. It's going to take a lot of time for that to happen, and not to be scared shitless, looking over your shoulder and thinking about being murdered, raped, beheaded, and taken as hostages. And for the millionth time, and I repeat again, they were murdered, tortured, raped on Israel's land. Your land. Israel's land, and Haaretz wants to bitch about the fucking government in Israel right now. There's a time and a place, people, a time and a place. But for Haaretz and plenty of others, we will let you know when your help is needed to help the rest of us out. Thank you.